Hi, this is Robin Dupree with Big Magazine, and I'm with Clint Stewart, who is Senior Vice President of Mavira. Thanks for having us, and thanks for sitting down and talking with us.
Thanks for coming.
So Mavira was created as a common brand of three companies. Can you explain the history of these three companies and the reason behind the new brand?
Sure. So originally, way back, I guess you'd say, Enviro Systems was a parent company, and it owned a whole bunch of operating companies. It went through a transaction, and out of that part of the company that remained, we decided to make things easier for the customer and create a single brand, single point of contact, make things more efficient, so that one name, one company, one point of contact.
Great. With the reorganization, Mavira has aligned itself to be a more focused organization. Please explain.
So with where we came from, we were a general service provider, so we provided a wide range of services. But one thing we felt we were lacking is because we were trying to be that single provider for everything, including into the waste and environmental sections, we felt that really to serve our customers better, we thought it was better to become more of a specialist. So we decided to focus on those specialized industrial services and not be the general practitioner out there, and really focus ourselves into those specific ones and be the leaders in the industry.
Mm-hmm. And you positioned yourself along the Gulf Coast in a very niche market, so to be a premier organization. Right?
We did, and we've got, without a doubt, the Gulf is going to be a focus of our business, but we do have good North American presence, and we selectively picked our locations so that we can serve our customer base really throughout North America, because a lot of our customers, sure they have plants in individual locations, but they are, in most cases, global customers.
Yeah.
So they would like to have, they get the same quality of service on the Gulf Coast as they do in Northern Canada.
Yeah.
So once we provide them a service that they're happy with, hey, can you also look after my facility in Canada or on the West Coast, but without a doubt, the Gulf Coast is the focus of our operation.
How does your company differ from its competitors, and what are you doing differently?
Sure. So we really try to work with our customers whenever possible, starting in the early phases of their identifying a project, so that we can work with them through the project to identify areas that are going to be known problem areas, and try to do something ahead of time to alleviate those issues. So if we know time is going to be an important factor for a customer, and this one component is critical path and a shutdown, really work with them to cut back on the time that particular solution is going to take, and focus on that and come up with different solutions to really remove some of those time issues. Or if we know there's a particularly difficult cleaning problem, really look at, hey, how can we focus on this to really resolve this problem for them, versus getting the call the day of, hey, can you send over a crew to do this, and they get the traditional solution because you really haven't had time to really work with them to identify the best solution out there.
Okay, so really building that client's relationship and having conversations with them to solve their problems.
Yes, and especially being involved through the planning phases, because that's when we can really offer the best solutions.
Yeah.
And really identify what's going to work best for them.
Okay.
Because a lot of times there's a variety of solutions, but picking the best one that suits their individual needs depending on what their issue of the day is.
Yeah.
And it changes in different situations. One day a shutdown, it could be time focused. Another it could be a technical solution they need, and time isn't as big of a factor.
Or weather related, like
or
hurricane
weather
related.
related, and some of our solutions do provide solutions to weather. One of our new technologies cuts days out of shutdowns that would have traditionally been weather related.
Yeah. Okay, explain your tailored services and on-site expertise and how these services are beneficial to your clients.
Sure. So we've got four main specialty services. We've got the catalyst services, which is basically changing of catalysts in customer sites. Picking into coking services. The traditional industrial services, sort of a broad name to a whole bunch of different services, but we do offer that as well. So that would be high pressure solutions, vacuum trucks, that sort of side of things.
Mm-hmm.
And then the chemical cleaning solutions. Now in each of those, we do have different technologies and tools in our toolbox to tackle different problems, but those are sort of if you were to look at four major buckets, those would be the four buckets that we deal with.
Okay. And your company plans as far as expansion, can you elaborate on that?
Sure, we don't like to throw too much of that out there because we know others are listening. But without a doubt, the Gulf Coast is going to be a focus for us. Mm-hmm. Especially the Gulf Coast is really booming right now.
Yes,
a lot of our customers are doing expansions. A lot of them are doing new plants, especially in the petrochemical side.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, just that alone opens up a whole lot of opportunities because for the most part, those are new facilities that weren't here historically. So that generally means there's more business out there. But probably the reason why we're growing the way we are is customers are very happy with our service. So once we're in there and have solved a problem for them, they're saying, hey, can you do this at this site as well? So I mean, that is probably our single largest area of growth is just happy customers.
Yeah. And you want to add locations in Louisiana and the Pacific Northwest. What opportunities do you see in these areas?
Well, Louisiana is definitely part of the Gulf Coast expansion, and our branches are positioned that strategically that we feel we cover the footprint we need to service all our customers. Getting into Louisiana gets us a little bit closer, and the market is large enough that it makes sense to be there as well.
Yeah.
Cut
If
down
you're
on
focusing
that.
on petrochemical.
Yeah. Cut down on that time to the customer site. Reduce our mob and demob costs. Be a little more competitive on the cost side of things. And the same thing for the Northwest. If you were to look at our existing footprint, that's sort of a gray area for us. We do go in and service customers there, but that's one of the areas that we're a little farther away from.
Okay. And describe your unique bundled services and how would the client benefit by choosing this service versus a one-off or a la carte?
Sure. So because we've decided to really focus on the specialized services, a lot of our employees are cross-trained in those specialized services. So they're able to and trained to do multiple things. So a lot of times right now customers are used to, okay, I need this done, I have to bring in a crew for this, get it done. Then the next step is this, I've got to bring in a different crew to do this. Then I've got to bring in another crew to do the final. We try to offer, it can be the same crew to do all of that and get rid of that, those time issues of changing out crews, bringing in some cases, a totally different company to do that next step, and provide that full service right through from start to end. So an example of that would be in our catalyst business. We do the catalyst removal and loading, but while we're doing that, we can also do some of the inspection services so that the customer doesn't have to totally remove the catalyst from the vessel, free it up, stage it, bring in an inspection company, do an inspection, and then load it again. As we're removing the catalyst ends up being the staging. So as we're going down, we can do the inspections within the vessel at the same time. so that they save 2 or 3 steps out of the process doing it that way. And that's just an example.
Yeah, and they also save on cost too. By
They
doing
do. Although even the big saving for them is that means they can get back up and running quicker, making the product that they make, and they get that revenue stream back
Yeah.
quicker.
And what new technology are you deploying, and what is in the works?
So we've got a couple of unique technologies that we're deploying out in the field right now. One of them is called the Matalift, and it is basically an elevator system that loads catalyst vessels.
Mm-hmm.
So traditionally that is done with cranes and bags of catalyst.
Yeah.
And that one is weather dependent. Catalyst can't be loaded when it's raining because it can't get wet, and cranes can't operate when it's too windy.
Yeah.
So this Matalift system, which is our technology, it's our patents, our trademark, would replace the crane, and for those longer shutdowns, larger shutdowns, they could have 4 days of potential weather days built into their schedule, because they just typically they lose those days due to weather. They know they're not going to be able to load when it's raining or when it's too windy.
Mm-hmm.
Those days can be removed because the elevator can operate through the rain and through the wind.
When was this released, this new technology?
So it is about 2 years old now. We're just finishing building our second unit.
Mm-hmm.
So we're on job 5 right now. So it's relatively new.
Mhm.
We've done 5 projects, and the second unit is just about finished construction.
And the clients that have used it, are they extremely happy with the
They
days
are.
that they're saving?
They are extremely happy. On average, of those jobs that we've done, they've saved a little over 3 days per project,
Which means money.
which means money.
So with new refinery expansions in the works along the Gulf Coast, how are you positioning your company as a leader within the industrial services sector?
Sure. So it's really offering those unique services and ensuring that customers are happy, because a lot of those new projects and plants are already here in terms of the customer.
Mhm.
It's just a new facility.
Yeah.
So keeping them happy is step one.
Yeah.
Showing that we can solve some of their problems. A lot of the work we do the traditional way, but showing that we have some new technologies, we're able to solve things differently, helps, because a lot of them are looking for, what's new out there.
Mhm.
Is there a better way?
Yeah.
So a lot of them are willing to try something new if they think that it could speed up their shutdown or do the cleaning better,
Mhm.
or of course, is it safer?
Yeah.
So any one of those levers are things that customers are willing to try because they're always looking for improvements in their operation.
Yeah, they're looking for your expertise to help guide them
Yeah.
during the process. Okay, and the last question, your employees are your brand ambassadors. How do you equip them to be the best?
Sure. I mean, it starts right from the beginning, even in the early stages of hiring.
Mhm.
Doing a good job of, I don't know if weeding out's the right term, maybe weeding in, maybe a better term, is identifying those employees that we think are going to grow with us and have a similar mindset, and not taking ones that we don't think will be a good fit.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you have those good employees, ensuring they're properly trained, getting them the right experience, having them grow with you, don't get them over their head too quickly,
Yeah.
letting them grow into that role. Although we've also brought on a lot of that expertise, as we've grown these businesses, we feel we've brought on some of the best experts out there that really fit with our brand and our goals and values. So continuing that, and ensuring that they're also customer focused.
Yeah.
Not just, hey, I've got to get this done.
Yeah.
The
Making safety a priority.
safety is definitely priority with us. our employees and our customers. I mean, that's a given, especially in this industry.
Yeah.
Really, you really can't stay in this industry if safety isn't, top priority.
Well, thanks, Clint. I greatly appreciate you sitting down with Big Magazine, and I hope that this was beneficial for you. If clients or our audience would like to know information, they should visit,
Maviro.com.
and should they reach out to you specifically?
They can, although there is a portion of the website where they can put in whatever they're looking for, and we'll get back to them very quickly.
Okay, great. Thanks again.
Welcome.